Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
And I'm Jamie Jirak.
And it's time to party. Those are finger guns.
Wow, I love it.
Party people, welcome back to the podcast. This right here is Time to Party, where, you know, there's time, there's parties, there's friends, pals. And here we are with one less pal than usual. Normally we have our good friend Ansel Birch with us, but he's off doing fun family things because, full disclosure, it's the day before Thanksgiving when we're recording this. So sorry, Ansel, and thank you to our guest, Jamie Jirak, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Jamie has an amazing podcast called Love in the Time of Hydra about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but also she's a part of a fun little group. You may have heard of them, Phase Hero.
Yeah.
You guys just celebrated your 100th episode, right?
We sure did. We had our 100th episode in studio together, which is rare because we don't all live in the same state. And we ranked the entire Infinity Saga, which was chaos. You know, there's a lot of movies in that saga. And we all have very different opinions. So it was a fun time.
Yeah. I definitely have feelings about Captain Marvel that BD may not share with me. But, you know, it's okay. It's all right.
Pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. But today, we are here talking about an amazing time travel movie, because that's what we do here at Time to Party. If you're new to the podcast, we split it up into 3 parts. Episode 1, we give you some drinking and smoking rules, party favors, if you will, so that you can rewatch the movie before listening to our Episode 2, which is our review of the movie. And then Episode 3, kind of off the walls and zany, because that's what we do here. We give you a little edutainment where we spotlight something from the movie with a very incredibly shallow dive of information. As we say here, it's a lazy river of information for you to wade through if you want. But first, episode 1, here we are. We are talking this month about Peggy Sue Got Married. If you don't know about this movie, our good friends at IMDb have this to say. Peggy Sue, on the verge of a divorce, faints at her 25th high school reunion and wakes up to find herself back in 1960, leading to her to try to spot and correct the mistakes that led to the disappointments and an unhappy marriage. Ooh, that's a lot. But yeah, that's what happens. Jamie, you brought this awesome movie to our attention because I haven't seen this movie before.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I was very excited to dive in because very rarely do we get movies that I'm just unfamiliar with.
Oh, I love that. That makes me so happy.
So we'll probably get into this in the second episode, but just to like tease it a little bit, what is your connection to Peggy Sue Got Married? Why did you feel to pick this one over all the other time travel movies?
Well, you know, you've covered a lot of my faves, and I felt like this one, as a lady, I felt like it's a good representation of, I don't like the term chick flick,
Sure.
I prefer, you know, but it is a movie for the gals, and I really love Coppola's movies for the gals. I lean more towards those for him, and I first saw this movie probably in my early 20s. My good friend Amy Cooey found out I hadn't seen it and made me watch it, and I always just think of like sitting on her floor with a little TV watching this movie, and it just I will talk about it in the second episode, but there's so much about this movie that I love, particularly the performances. I'm also a really big Nick Cage fan. Nick Cage is my second favorite actor of all time, so I'll have a lot to say about him in this movie. And there's a lot to be said for the fact that it's a year after Back to the Future. I think that's something that we will probably dive into. And I'm excited to hear what you think of it since it was your first time.
Yeah, but all right. So for those of you who are rewatching the movie along with us, we have some rules for you to play a little game. You can drink alcohol, you can drink a milkshake, you can drink whatever you want, really. I mean, we're not the boss of you. Or smoke, whatever you want, whatever. Do what you will with these rules. But I guess, Jamie, would you like to share your first rule?
Okay, so I am really big into movie drinking games. I have invented
Yeah.
many a game. Every year on Valentine's Day for the past 17, almost now 18 years, I've watched Die Hard and drank alcohol. And
Oh my God.
so that's a big thing for me. And my friends, Cassie, Anthony, and I, for years and years, have always had Nick Cage drinking games. We've done it to many, many Nick
Amazing.
Cage movies. And there's always one rule for every Nick Cage movie, no matter what the Nick Cage movie is, and it's drink whenever Nick
Okay.
Cage is being really Nick Cage about it. And that is
Yep.
obviously, like, you can interpret that anyway. So if you haven't had a drink in a while, it's like Nick Cage is being pretty Nick Cage about it. And you all know what that means. It's a little vague, but it is a drinking game rule that has sustained me for 15 years, and it works really well. And he has a lot of those moments in this movie. So I had to share that longstanding rule with your audience.
That is a great rule. I'm a big fan. My first rule is actually also related to Nick Cage's character. My first rule is to take a drink whenever Peggy is disappointed by Charlie.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I feel like I was disappointed in Charlie like a whole lot. So Peggy's got to have like a lot of disappointment coming from that.
I do want to defend him that he is still sweet. Like, he defends the nerd. Like, he's a good man at heart. He's not a bad person, but he is disappointed.
Sure.
That's certainly accurate.
Yes.
I was trying to think for another rule in terms of like references from like 1985 to 1960, and they're not as like obvious in this movie. It's not really about that. It's like a time travel movie, but it's not about time travel. But I do think for people our age, there are a lot of references in 1960 that I don't get. I just genuinely don't know what they are. So I think drink when something goes over your head.
That's probably good, because I feel like the audience younger than us will definitely not get a whole lot of stuff. So depending on your age, this may be a heavy rule instead of, just a here and there rule. Here at Time to Party, we like to show our respect by designating a rule in someone's honor, in someone's memory, all of that good stuff. And I would like to propose a shot rule for Buddy Holly. Just take a shot for this incredible musician. Obviously he has a connection to Peggy Sue and his career, but like, he has other great songs too. I remember being obsessed with Buddy Holly when I was younger after seeing La Bamba.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh my God. So Lou Diamond Phillips plays Richie Valens. And at the end of his career, the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly do play a part. And it's just like, I was obsessed with that type of music. In fact, I want to say that's why I started wearing these glasses.
Nice.
But then, emo kind of took over and kind of stole his thunder.
I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. If we could even say that, like, Buddy Holly is foundational emo material,
Yeah, I would totally allow that.
So because of Buddy Holly's impact on pop culture, and for me personally, I want to give him a shot whenever you want while you're watching this movie.
I like that. I also had a shot rule.
Okay.
And that is because my household has just a blanket drinking rule. If we're drinking while we're watching a movie, always drink when they say the name of the film. But since we're already playing a drinking game, I think when she says Peggy Sue Got Married, you have to take a shot.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's a good one. Like you were saying, how this isn't really like a traditional time travel movie in the sense that, like, you're not really seeing the same tropes per se. Because it's not really about the time travel, it's about these characters. And, I had trouble finding this last rule, but like I did notice that it happens a number of times. So, it could work. Take a drink whenever Peggy Sue does something that could affect the timeline in a really big way. Like sharing secrets of things that were invented, or, song lyrics, for example. There are a few moments when Peggy Sue tries to be a little bit more entrepreneurial. So, here and there, just take a drink when you see her do that.
If we do all these rules in one sitting, we're going to be on the floor. I think you got to pick and choose. Pick and choose.
Absolutely. You should always pick and choose. Maybe if you're doing it with more than one person, you each pick a rule and then you're in charge of that rule. There's a lot of possibility to get blackout drunk if you're doing all of these rules. So, yes, please, a la carte. Jamie, do you have any other rules?
No, but I feel like we mostly talked about drinking, but you mentioned that smoking is also a thing. So I feel like, when Peggy Sue takes out the reefer when she's on her little date, I think if you're looking for a time to hit it when Peggy Sue hits it,
I like that. I also like what Michael Fitzsimmons says when he says that Peggy Sue smokes. Like, I believe he says blows the pot is the phrase.
Is that what he says?
I'm like, what? Well, I want to hear all of the different ways these kids in the 1960s referred to smoking weed, because they're just all over the place.
It made me think, have you done Totally Killer on the show?
We have, and we loved it a lot.
There's a scene in the movie where she goes back in time to the 80s and the pot just doesn't work. It's not good because she's used to and this is kind of the same thing. 80s pot in 1960 is really good. So it made me think of that of we've really come a long way over the years with how good pot has gotten.
Yes. So there you have it, party people. Those are some of your rules that you can choose from to play a little game while you take a rewatch of Peggy Sue Got Married. We will be back next week with our review where we're going to get to dive in to Jamie's love of Nick Cage and so much more. I don't want to give too much away because I, haven't seen this movie, so I want to share it all in episode 2. Got to give people a reason to come back, right? So, with that in mind, you can find us on the internet. I'm at bsilverio20 on wherever I want to be found.
At Jamie Jirak on Instagram and Letterboxd. I love Letterboxd. I watch a lot of movies, so follow me there. And then my podcast at LidoPod if you're an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. And Phase Hero is all over the business. You can find that there too.
Yes, and if you still use a platform that uses hashtags and you want to join the conversation, you can use the hashtag #time2party. That's time, the number 2 party.
As well as time, the number 2 party, all spelled out thanks to Warwick. This has been an Indecisionist production. Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art and to Marlon Longett of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song. You can find me at The Indecisionist on all of the social media platforms I can be bothered to be on.
Party people, thank you for joining us. Come back next week where we go back to the 1960s. If I had a soundboard, there would be like a musical cue for 60s music. It would be a good time, but I'm glad they don't give me that kind of power. But anyway, until then, be excellent to each other.
Party on, dude!